That wasn't it.
Hands on nobody.
Saturday night, I did hear about what happened after it happened. She was a guest of the event, and she was a guest in a Netflix specific VIP invite only area. And for that to happen reflects poorly on MVP, reflects poorly on women's sports, on sports as a whole. And there's no doubt there was a back and forth conversation between her and Alycia.
You know, I like both of them. Claressa Shields and them. Alycia Baumgardner. I watched that video probably about, not gonna lie, repeat, probably about 20 times. And I just couldn't wait to hear the fucking slap. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, pow, ooh, shit. I was like, oh, let me hear it again. Pow, ooh, shit.
Obviously, you're not too fond of Claressa. She said she would go down to 147 to fight Amanda
But she also
Serrano.
said she'd fight Jake Paul.
We're going to get into that, but first...
I'm not saying I'm not fond of her. I don't care. I could care less about that human that exists on the planet, but, like, I'm telling you who she is as a person. And the truth, like, I operate in a state of truth in my life, and I'm just telling the truth on who she is.
The VIP area at a major fight event is usually a place where important business connections are made, not where tempers explode. But during the highly publicized MVP MMA event in California headlined by Ronda Rousey's return, the atmosphere changed completely. What began as a professional setting quickly turned tense when two of the biggest names in women's boxing came face to face. Following a heated argument, Claressa Shields reportedly reached across and slapped Alycia Baumgardner during the confrontation. This was not a planned promotional moment designed to attract attention. It was a genuine and unexpected incident that unfolded in front of shocked executives and guests.
I was in your way.
Shut the fuck up. Get out the way. I want to get in there.
No. World star.
You gonna whoop your ass. Not right now. You gonna whoop your ass, Alycia. Who asked you to whoop?
I'm calling her to get referee.
When the sports world caught wind of the footage, the heavy hitters didn't hold back.
When footage of the incident began circulating, the reaction from the sports world was immediate. On the Nightcap podcast, Shannon Sharpe and Chad Okocinco-Johnson openly criticized what had happened. Okocinco expressed disbelief that an experienced professional athlete would allow a verbal disagreement to escalate so far and questioned the logic behind turning words into a physical confrontation, especially given the clear difference in size and strength involved.
Claressa, you ghetto, ratchet, musty at the highest level. You miserable. You feeling that pressure from Alycia to Baumgardner. We can all tell. First off, who in the fuck let you in the motherfucking building? They need to be placed on a leave of absence. You managed to get in the building and immediately you up there on the nosebleeds. How did you slither your ass down to the floor where the fight was cracking at? Now you just in there with the stale face with musty energy slithering all over your body. You see Alycia Baumgardner with Le'Veon Bell, Michael Irvin, James Cameron. You know James Cameron made the motherfucking Titanic, nigga? And then here come your ghetto ass. She got her own hairstylist there. They done put Alycia Baumgardner on the Jumbotron. Everybody pouring the love into her that she prayed for and what she manifested. And you over there just looking motherfucking stank up over there. Your leave out is your motherfucking leave out. Lord child. Now you're walking around and you look to your side and be like, damn, I'm with this married ass nigga. This nigga motherfucking Mary talking about, nah, nigga, instead of trying to fight Alycia Baumgardner, you need to fight that case. Yeah. Then how your ghetto ass getting a VIP? How you getting a VIP? Then you go up in there, you try to get in a section. They like, who is this motherfucker walking in with them nasty ass boots on? Then you get in a section and you try to assault the face of women's boxing, Alycia Baumgardner. Just ghetto. You got to have some class. You ain't got to be ghetto and ratchet all the time. Get your mind right. You supposed to be somebody. That's just musty. You pressed. You is pressed. Alycia Baumgardner got you pressed, gang. We gonna get into it next video.
He pointed out that Claressa can weigh around 175 pounds outside of competition, while Alycia competes near 130 pounds, creating a significant size difference between them. Shannon was also surprised and questioned why anyone would turn a verbal exchange into a physical incident when the discussion alone was already drawing attention. Both hosts agreed that physical contact should be reserved for official competition, and noted that a sanctioned fight between the two would be unrealistic because they compete in very different weight classes. In their view, the situation did not make anyone appear stronger, and instead gave the impression of losing control. Alycia and Claressa belong to two completely different divisions.
Last question, because I've been seeing this video going around.
Yeah.
And for me, like, it's more like some reality TV stuff.
Yeah.
Claressa Shields Alycia Baumgardner.
Yeah.
All right, I've seen everybody go crazy over the so-called slap.
Right.
And what's your thoughts, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's love and hip hop. I don't think it's real. Why? Claressa Shields is in a great space. She's been doing great numbers. Putting your hands on Baumgardner. I ain't saying she was wrong. Let's get that clear. I ain't saying she's wrong because I don't know what they was arguing about. But putting your hands on her ain't gonna get you nowhere because she still ain't gonna fight you. You too big. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. So you think if you can't get her in the ring, you think she gonna fight you in the street? Fuck no. So for me, I don't even think it was real. And Papoose is at that age where you see your younger self and you're like, yo, not saying you know what I mean, your younger age, when you see somebody snapping out, you like, yo, you don't gotta do all that. It's chill. We ain't on that. I ain't see that from him. He was like kind of letting her go ahead. So that to me made me feel like, oh, they set that up. And the angle was fucked up. You couldn't really tell.
I didn't even see nothing land.
And it looked like she threw a punch and it looked like a slap, but it sounded like a slap. They made it sound real loud. I don't know. It's just something about it. Something about it ain't sound official.
Behind the scenes, the boxing community has been filled with discussion about the potential financial consequences of this incident. Content creators and industry insiders spoke openly about the situation and did not hold back with their opinions. Many criticized the behavior and argued that athletes cannot afford to lose control when they are surrounded by the executive sponsors and business partners who play a major role in creating opportunities and funding events.
It looked like she might have slapped the Korean out her ass, the lawsuit coming out. Supposedly she might be taking, lawsuit. It is in California. California, shit, you can sue for anything in California. Shit, you break into somebody's home in California and shit, trip over a damn shoe, hurt yourself, and then go and sue them. You can do all kind of shit in California. So like, it might be a battery charge or some misdemeanor, couple of $1,000s maybe even a little jail. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is.
The MVP after party was reportedly filled with important representatives from Netflix and DAZN. Causing a scene in that type of setting can affect far more than just the fighter involved. It can create problems for managers, promoters, sponsors, and everyone connected to the athlete whose earnings and business opportunities may be impacted by the incident.
On Saturday night, I did hear about what happened after it happened. She was a guest of the event, and she was a guest in a Netflix specific VIP invite only area. And for that to happen reflects poorly on MVP, reflects poorly on women's sports, on sports as a whole. And there's no doubt there was a back and forth conversation between her and Alycia. But nobody raised a hand other than Claressa. So for us, I would have hoped she would have come out with an apology, but she didn't. She actually texted me that night and said, like, I had a great time. Thank you so much. I didn't respond, confused that what had happened, and that was the text that I had gotten. And I'm disappointed that this is what has had to have happened. But if you're gonna conduct yourself that way in a non-fight week setting, I've seen a lot of people be like, you didn't ban Mike Tyson when he slapped Jake Paul. They're about to fight. No, we're not going to ban Mike Tyson. The commission may have. The commission may step in and say, you're going to get fined. But we certainly don't ban fighters for having animosity towards each other during fight week. That's why if you saw a release, it says there's a time and place for the banter and for the hostilities. At a press conference even, right? Sometimes that's what helps sell the fight. There was no fight here. There was a bunch of celebrities, athletes, influencers, Netflix executives, MVP employees, and something happened that shouldn't have happened. And I hope Claressa takes responsibility for it. And there's a path to having her at our events again. You know, she's one of the greatest boxers.
Industry insiders have argued that risking major business opportunities over a personal dispute shows a failure to separate emotional reactions from professional conduct. Some believe valuable network partnerships and future deals may have been damaged because one moment of poor judgment turned unnecessary tension into a public incident.
We want to ask you about what happened with Claressa Shields and Alycia Baumgardner. Bit of an ugly scene, and MVP has since come out and said that Claressa is banned from attending MVP events. And not that long ago, there were some talks about her fighting on an MVP card or, being co-promoted or something like that. And so what could you tell us about what happened and the aftermath? Is this a lifetime ban? Are you saying you don't want to ever work with Claressa, or is this something that can be fixed? What can you tell us about this?
I would say we worked very hard to try to convince Claressa to sign to MVP. And I think she was pretty open that we did a great job in terms of how we presented to her, in terms of the opportunity. But, she called me one day and said, I'm getting a $3 million offer to sign to Salida and Win Records. And I said, great. Like, I can't justify that number. You should 100% do that. Congratulations. You've set a new bar for a signing bonus within women's sports. Since then, we've worked hard to develop a great relationship, and we've had very positive communication, in-person meetings, just like great understanding between us. I had not talked to Claressa since the Shadeja Green fight. She reached out to me post-it, but I thought she was very disrespectful in terms of the way that she was communicating online when a fighter that I cared deeply about, but just any fighter, was on the floor unconscious, being rushed in an ambulance to the hospital, and ultimately had a brain injury. That was not cool, and it really made me think maybe Claressa and I have gotten too close.
Rather than offering the public apology, many people expected the multi-division champion chose to defend her actions and respond directly. Posting on social media, she argued that the viral video circulating online had been heavily edited and did not accurately show what really happened. She described her reaction as self-protection, saying she would not remain silent while facing verbal attacks, threats, and discrimination. The situation took another turn when she claimed that MVP's lifetime ban had no impact on her because she had already declined several chances to work with the company in the past. She also suggested that powerful groups were spending large amounts of money to damage her image and reputation. Whether those claims are true or simply an attempt to shift attention away from the incident, many fans were left with more questions than clear answers.
Anyway, as you saw on the tape, Claressa wound up there, cock back, bop, right in the mouth for some confrontation that they're having. Now, let me tell you what my thoughts are on this, because Claressa then doubles down and she puts out a tweet which basically says, yeah, that's what you get when you mess with Claressa. Get the taste slapped out your mouth. Something to that effect. I'll put it up in the graphic in the video. But here's my thing, man. This is great promotion. It's great promotion. It really is. I love it. It's going to be good for Alycia Baumgardner. It's going to be good for Claressa Shields. It's going to be good for their careers. Because you know why? Because ratchet sells. A few years ago, I forget when they put that term to rest, right? Where You just have scantily dressed women over the top with loud mouths screaming back and forth, man. You see Krishan Rock going through that in the fights that she's having with these people in these real life, dramas. I really think that, these people are starting to plan these things out because they're basically being podcasters. What do you call it? In real life, RIL podcasters, in real life podcasters, where like you see Alycia Baumgardner being filmed with, I think the guy's name is DDG, and she's doing live streams with him. She's in the boxing gym with them, right? They're kind of teaming up with with those type of streamers. You have Ryan Garcia, who you saw just last night do a live stream with Tekashi 6ix9ine. They're dressing just alike, and you see Adrian Bronner running around with Dean the Great, and and they're dressing alike. So it's just a big production that these guys are putting on, trying to get their name out there and trying to keep this conversation going, man, in this very, very, very how can you say, swamped media land. And the bigger a fool you act, the more attention that you're going to.
Looking more closely at the situation, some believe the controversy may be connected to ongoing industry politics and promotional rivalries. Tension between Shields and MVP has reportedly existed for quite some time. She has publicly disagreed with Jake Paul's promotional company over its strong support of Amanda Serrano as the greatest female boxer of all time, a title Shields has consistently claimed belongs to her. As a result, some people within the boxing community have suggested that the strict zero-tolerance ban could involve more than simply addressing inappropriate behavior.